Is overpaying on your mortgage really going to be worth it? Hi, I'm Sam Fox, a mortgage expert here in the UK, and in today's video, I'm going to be answering that very question to tell you the pros and the cons on what happens if you overpay your mortgage and if you should be considerate. Now, before I get into that, please do me a favor, like and subscribe to the channel. I'm here trying to support as many first-time buyers and homeowners in the UK, understand mortgages and finances to help them make better decisions. You get the point. So let's get to the video. So let's start with the basics. So a mortgage overpayment means you're paying more than you agreed to on top of your monthly repayment. So let's look at your mortgage offer. You might be paying £700 a month and you're going to decide one of two things. Either to make a regular monthly payment, so adding a fixed amount onto that each month, or you'll pay off a lump sum once per year. And people tend to do that on the anniversary of the mortgage completing, for example. Now, overpaying your mortgage reduces the mortgage balance faster, which means less interest that you're going to pay over time. So the benefits of this, you're reducing your interest. So making that overpayment means that your mortgage will be paid off sooner. So there's going to be less interest paid overall. So let's take an example, 25-year mortgage term, you're paying off a bit extra each month. It might mean that your mortgage is cleared in 23 years. By overpaying, it's going to increase the equity. So when you overpay, you're also opening up that bracket of equity as well. And it means that you're going to be closer to owning the property outright. And sometimes, yes, sometimes it can be better than a savings account. So for some people, it makes more sense to overpay on the mortgage than to keep the money in a standard bank account. And that's because you'll earn more money in interest savings on the mortgage than you could earn in an ISA that might be giving you like 1.5% on your money. So if your mortgage rate is 4.5%, ISA is giving you 1.5%, people might decide to pay it off. Now the cons are you've got less cash to hand, so it's a good idea to have that emergency fund anyway. And we'd always say have about 3 months for unexpected expenses like the boiler going sideways and it needs to be replaced, that kind of thing. The other thing as well is to look at other debts. So interest rates for a mortgage typically are much lower than other kinds of household debt. Let's take a credit card, for example. A credit card might have an interest rate of 29.9%. Your mortgage has got an interest rate of 4.5%, 5%. You know, the overpayments really should be towards your credit cards because that's costing you more money and get that paid off. The other thing to consider is the fees and potential charges. Now, whilst most lenders will let you overpay 10% of your mortgage balance each year, you may be charged a fee if you overpay too much, known as the early repayment charge. So in fact, making a big overpayment could end up costing thousands of pounds if you go over the permitted limit. So if you come into some inheritance, for example, and you want to lump off 100 grand of your mortgage, that's probably going to be more than your 10% unless you've got £1 million mortgage, which if you have to, it must be a massive gaff, but make sure you plan that out in beforehand. So let's give you a real life example. Let's say my mortgage term is 25 years and I bought it at 150 grand with a 10% deposit. The payments might be around £734 per month, depending on interest rates, obviously, before any compliance fund sponges drop a comment on there. But let's say I overpaid to £800 a month, which is a £66 per month top up. If I did this, I'm going to pay off the mortgage 3 years and 5 months earlier. And on top of that, I'm going to save £13,090 in interest alone. So it could be worth it. Overpayments could be a great way for you to unlock homeownership in its entirety with having no mortgage payments or mortgage debt at all. So that's it from me today, talking about overpayments. Now there are loads of videos that we'll link in here that you can continue to browse that will help you understand the world of mortgages, finances and property. But the best thing you can do is hit subscribe. Any questions, drop them in the comments below. And as always, you can reach me on my email. It's sam@ukmc.co.uk. I'll see you next time for another mortgage video.